Hi, I'm Brian Landrigan. You may remember me from such educational films as 0 minus 1 equals negative fun. Why do we feel that we need to come to face-to-face presentations? Why are you here today? Is there a difference between this pre-recorded format with a mixture of images, text and video, and the live version? What's he got that I haven't? Nothing, that's right. I'm just as engaging, have the same body language, intonation, I dress just as well. So why isn't it all teaching as they envisaged in the 1930s? And when will the words of the famous inventor Thomas Edison come true? Well, I hope they never do. Why would you say that? You've been a teacher in a classroom setting as well as at a university institute. What's so different between you and me? Well, I'm a social being that needs interactions with people, not just things, so you can leave now. But wait! From a study in 2015, What Works and Why, from Monash University, a lot of students did see the benefit of having video in their learning experience. These were some of their responses. It allowed lecturers to really illustrate a point, get students to connect on a deeper level with the subject material, not just theoretically. One person said they drift off if someone is just talking. They need stimulation or seeing images, dot points and diagrams on the screen aids me in absorbing the information. One person saw that video you can have infinite replay value, you can speed it up or slow it down. Quite a few students mentioned the whole concept of being a visual learner. Back in 1919, David Starr Jordan, the founding president of Stanford University, also agreed that the educational motion picture meant a revolution in pedagogy. It means vividness where vagueness has reigned. So that was nearly over 100 years ago now. There were articles at the time. This was an advertisement for a projector that showed that attempting to show that the motion picture was going to bring enlightenment to students. It was going to bring about a cultural revolution, in a sense, of Americanization through the motion picture. And in this article, Education in the Visual Age, it was suggested that the teacher of today must consider the vital effects of these media have upon the minds and imaginations of its students. Learning takes place only where interest is aroused and attention is sustained. We would have all sat through some videos such as this one, frogs, toads and salamanders, as we were growing up at school. There seems to be when video can be used in a complementary fashion as this, it does serve a good purpose. I remember attempting to do this in my classroom, and the fish tank got a hole in it, and all we ended up with was a lot of dead tadpoles. So a video can be complementary when something in reality is quite hard to do. This is an article, a blog post from 2012, which shows a number of reasons why you would use video in online learning. It lists some examples here to demonstrate experiments or experimental situations, to illustrate principles involving dynamic change or movement, to bring students primary source or case study material, to enable students to recognise naturally occurring phenomena. So there's a whole list there of different ways that video can enhance and be complementary to an educational experience. But I still tend to agree with Groucho Marx when he said, "I find television very educational. The minute someone turns it on, I go into the library and read a book." I would hope this would continue, that we still are reading books. And we need to keep that in mind. One study from the Educating Generation Next from Deakin University looked at students' use of media use, sort of screen media use, and discovered that our thoughts about this generation, about how much time they're spending on these devices and in front of screens, may not be as prolific as we imagine, and that we need to be wary when there's so much talk about digital technologies in higher education and how they should be incorporated, and how a lot of universities are talking in that way. Dublin City University is going all out with video learning and doing things with students when they become the producers of video. So this is 2 nursing students having a video assignment, and which they get to practice a certain procedure rather than do it straight away in a 15-minute once only opportunity. They get to practice that procedure until they perfect it. This is one of my colleagues just mentioning how she feels about incorporating educational media.
Yes, I do. To some degree, I do think that you should be able to have some multimedia elements to demonstrate certain things that are better said in a visual format than in a text-based or...
Okay, so that's the end of this presentation. Thank you very much.